This is News 10 Weekend.
Good evening, I'm Jessica De Nova.
And I'm Caitlin Conrad. Thank you for joining us. The mother of a murdered woman says justice is finally served.
This week, Bourne Huddleston found out he's likely to spend the rest of his life behind bars. The victim's family's relief is your News 10 Weekend top story at 6.
I was talking to my daughter saying, we finally got justice for you, Kristy.
Relieved is how Denise Esselstyn says she feels after closing the last chapter of what she calls a nightmare since her daughter, Kristy Huddleston, was murdered in March of 2012. It all ended Friday afternoon in Jackson County Circuit Court with a plea deal, putting the murderer, the victim's husband, Bourne Huddleston, behind bars for a minimum of 55 years.
By the time he's even eligible for parole, he'll be approaching 100 or more.
Bourne Huddleston was originally scheduled to be tried for attempted aggravated murder in September, charged with teaming up with his sister, Genetta Huddleston Coradetti, the two suspected of hiring a hitman to kill a key witness in his murder trial. The victim's family was not satisfied with Huddleston's 25-year minimum sentence last month for Kristy's murder. Jackson County Deputy District Attorney David Hoppy was on their side and says he took a chance to tack more years onto Bourne Huddleston's jail sentence.
I made a plea bargain in order to get Mr. Huddleston to give the $800,000 in federal benefits that could have been tied up for years. I made a plea bargain with Mr. Huddleston so that he would plead on the attempted aggravated murder to an additional 10 years, but then the $800,000 would go to Ethan Huddleston, and his sister would get a probation sentence and go back to Florida.
As part of the deal, Genetta Huddleston Coradetti pleaded no contest to a count of solicitation of murder. Coradetti was sentenced to 5 years of probation and will get 3 years in prison if she violates it.
I wish she would have had to do more time.
One wish granted for the victim's mother as part of the plea bargain. Bourne Huddleston signed off the $800,000 in federal and insurance benefits he got after murdering his wife to their son, Ethan Huddleston.
That's a lot of money for a 12-year-old boy, so I would imagine that there'll be something to where when he turns 18, he'll have access to a certain amount.
A good chunk of cash, Ethan's grandma says she's sure he'll use for college.
At first he wanted to be a pilot, but now he wrote a paper in school about wanting to be a DA.
Huddleston will be eligible for parole hearing after serving his mandatory, now 55-year sentence at 101 years of age.